When did America lose its mission? America was founded on like liberty and justice for all, freedom, freedom of speech, the frontier, our founding fathers, these heroes that are larger than life that fought in the American Revolution, fought in the Civil War, civil rights leaders. When did America lose our mission? We have lost the plot. As somebody that served on a submarine, I remember getting to my first submarine back in '94. And whenever I got there, I was the new guy, the FNG, right? You're the effing new guy. You get there, you don't know anything. You don't know anyone. They don't know you. And they don't know anything about you. They don't know where you're from. You don't know where they're from. You don't know who they are. You don't know what makes them tick. But it doesn't matter. We're all there for one mission. The number of dives equals the number of surfaces. We always come home. That's the boiled down mission on the submarine. It's one long deployment with a bunch of naps. You go do what you're supposed to do and then you come back. That's the goal. And I don't remember at one point during my naval career, my Navy career, 20 plus years, ever talking politics with someone I worked with. We didn't care. We did not care. And I retired when Obama came into office. I retired in 2014, so he'd been in for a couple of years. And that's whenever I really felt like the whole downcline or decline of America happened. And I'm going to put it right at his doorstep. Now, was Bush a great president? No, I served under him. Was Clinton a great president? No, I served under him as well. We didn't get paid for a while under Clinton. But I don't think either of them divided America like Obama. And now everybody is freaking out because a ultimate fighting guy, right, brought up a question or maybe a joke. I think he just did it as a troll about Michelle Obama being a dude. And I would have thought, and even my wife said this, that they should have just owned it and admitted that Michelle Obama was a dude, reached the pinnacle of the transgender movement. First lady, right? That's the pinnacle, right? But no, she's the victim. After all the things that they have said about the current president, she's the victim. And I think this all goes back to when Michelle Obama said that she had never been proud of her husband or never been proud of America until her husband became president. And America doesn't forget stuff like that. We hold grudges. We hold grudges for a long time. I'm talking 250 years. We're about to celebrate 250th anniversary. We're holding a grudge against the UK. Every year we celebrate our grudge against Britain. It's called 4th of July. So she could have came out and apologized for that once he was elected or at any time. And that would have probably lifted some of the drama away from her. But no, they doubled down and double down and double down and start putting out these movies and all this other crap. And I think maybe that's when we lost part of our mission as Americans. The book I'm reading right now, or I'm listening to it on audiobook, it's by Gad Saad. It's called Suicidal Empathy. And it's a real study in how Americans, you and I, have been manipulated. And one of the ways we've been manipulated is Obama. Obama ran on the fact that he was black, not that he was half white. He ran on the fact that he was black. He ran on the fact that he was a victim. And he manipulated a lot of people to vote for him because they thought they could get rid of their white guilt. There's a lot of people that voted for Obama just because they thought they could bury the transgressions of their forefathers. Maybe they had a family member that was a slave owner or a Confederate soldier or a Klan member. That's how Obama won. The transgender movement, another suicidal, empathetic move. And I will say, I think part of this is all women. Because for a long time, women wanted to have a gay friend. And there's a lot of women that are like, oh, I got a gay friend. And I don't care about gay, don't care. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I don't think you need a flag for it, displaying it. I don't think you need a month. I don't think you need a parade. Because I don't do any of those things for what I do with my personal life. But the empathy is a lever against Americans. And it's so easy to see. Once you spot it, you see it. When did our country, when did we as a country, a lot of people, think that our country is supposed to take care of us and serve us and give us free stuff, free health care, free food, free place to live, energy, gas subsidies, a free phone? When did our country become that? I think that's when we lost our mission. And it's just been gradual. We've been losing our mission very slowly. And it's strange. I don't remember when all of the little boxes popped up with food. Like you drive around your community and there's like a box with canned goods in it. When did that happen? Because that seems like another welfare program. And welfare goes back to, I believe, Teddy Roosevelt is when welfare started. I believe. One of the Roosevelts. But when did that become like a thing? And I've seen some people in some nice cars pulling up to these food boxes. I've seen some nice cars. Next time you drive by Goodwill, look at all the nice cars in the Goodwill parking lot or the Salvation Army. Look at all the nice cars. I just don't understand how or when we lost our mission. For a long time, it was considered like an honor to serve your country, to join the military, to put on a uniform that's represented by millions of heroes. It was like an honor to do that. And now it's not. It's not. Or it hasn't been. It's been almost like a detriment. Like if you join the military, you're probably blue collar, low class, low middle class, poor, poverty. You did that to join the military. You joined the military to get away from that. That's the way it's kind of been dealt. And everybody wants equality. You know, you want equality for the transgender groups and all the letters in the password. But at the same time, the same people wanting equality don't want equality whenever it's coming to serve your country. Only men should be eligible for the draft. You're starting to pick up on this? That's another part of the mission that I think's lost. There's a lot of roles that women could serve in that's non-combat, but we have combat roles for women. There are women that fly fighter jets. So the empathy is like this. It's a leverage. It's used against us, and on so many levels. And I'm just sitting out back tonight having a pipe. Nothing like a good pipe every now and then. Got my dogs here at my feet, smoking a can of Frog Morton on the Bayou is what that is. A little Latakia and Perique. I've been out for a motorcycle ride, and when I was riding my bike, I do that in the evenings. Sometimes I'll just jump on my motorcycle and go for a ride, and it kind of clears my head because you can't really do anything with your phone. You're just concentrating on the road. You're inside of your helmet. I wear a helmet. And you're just kind of thinking to yourself. And one of the things I thought of was this. When did we lose our mission? And I think back to being on those submarines that I served on. At no point in my life did I know the political affiliation of anyone I served with. My captain, my XO, my chief of the boat, my senior chief, my department head, my chief, my LPO. At no point in my life did I know that. Sitting on the helmsman and plainsman, driving and diving. middle of the night. We never talked politics. It was always stuff about like 80s trivia, music trivia, the song game. We would have boxes of Trivial Pursuit cards. One of the guys I served with went on Jeopardy after he left the Navy. His name's J.R. Lind. He's a sports writer in Nashville, Tennessee. He went on Jeopardy and won like $130,000 on Jeopardy. I don't know what his political affiliation is. It just doesn't matter. But now I bet in the military that these military members, it's probably very well known. And I don't know if social media helped us lose the plot. I don't know. I mean, it's easy to blame it on Obama. We can blame a lot on him. I agree. We can blame a lot on Obama. We can blame a lot on Trump. We can blame a lot on Bush and Clinton and the other Bush and Reagan and Carter and Ford and Nixon. And I mean, we can blame a lot of Lyndon B. Johnson. Don't let me forget that guy. We can blame a lot on Biden, too. But I don't know at what point we quit blaming them and we start looking at the nuclear family. We start looking at the families and how a lot of these families don't really take responsibility for anything. I think the last time I saw a family member take responsibility was during Trump's first term. And there was this young black kid that was at like a riot and his mama saw him and she went over and hit him in the face with a flip-flop. That's the last time I think I've seen accountability from a parent to a child so publicly. And it's really bothersome. Everybody is a victim. Everybody deserves something. Everybody wants something from the government. That's what I'm starting to get. I made a video earlier today discussing the Iran deal. And the only thing we really know about the Iran deal right now is like broader picture. J.D. Vance has let slip a couple of things. Trump has let slip a couple of things. That's all we know. And I made this video and I brought up a couple of X posts from Axios and a couple other news sites. And they are definitively saying the deal has been leaked and they had all the information. And I just brought up the point that I am going to wait until the president signs it in a Sharpie and holds it up to the camera, because that's what he always does. And people shit all over me for saying I'm going to wait until the president like acknowledges it. We know how corrupt the news media is. We know how fake the news media is. We know that they will put anything on anything, never quote an actual source. They'll say senior official. And that's why I'm like, well, I'm going to wait until the president says something or shares it with the public before I pass any judgment. Until then, I've got his back. Man, the anger, the hatred, the vitriol from some of these people was crazy. They're like, you're a flip-flopper. I'm like, whoa, you're just making money off of Iran. I'm like, are you joking? Do you know how much YouTube actually pays you? It's nothing. And I'm like, wow, man. Like, if you dare go against the flow, the liberal hive mind, the beehive, if you're not a drone, if you're not one of the drone worker bees, and you dare question anything, or you dare like be different, man, they're coming for you. That's just the way it seems. If you have an independent thought and you dare question the unholy trinity of Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, David Pakman, or any of those people, boy, you are in a world of, it's almost like you shouldn't dare never step out against anyone that, has any clout. How dare you question this person? It's like, whoa, dude. I'm entitled to my own opinion. I don't know. How many of you have experienced this? I have. Maybe it's because I've got a channel and I'm just like a public opinion. I don't know. I don't consider myself like this philosophical dude. I just kind of see stuff on the news and I give my interpretation. I give my opinion. I'm not a genius by any means. High school graduate, right? With like some crappy degree that if AI was around, I would have probably had a better degree because I'd have used AI, I would have used ChatGPT to get a degree like all the kids are doing now, right? But man, you talk about some vitriol. Think about all the former military that are on social media platforms that are 100% against America right now. I'll say America. I'll say it. They're against the president, which in my turn is against America. I didn't like what Biden did. I didn't like what Obama did, but I wanted them to be successful because I hoped that in the back of their minds, they had like a good idea for America. Looking back, man, maybe that was wrong. You know, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. People will watch your videos just to look for you to slip up so they can be like, you said that wrong or you spelled that wrong. You mispronounced the word Isaiah. You mispronounced Ezekiel. It's like, whoa, dude. Okay, cool. Right? You're quoting the King James version of the Bible. I've got the Ethiopian version. It's like, whoa. I use a lot of the super chats and memberships on my channel to like send Bibles to people. And I haven't had anybody say like, why did you send me a King James version? I haven't had that yet. I did have somebody ask me if I'd send them a Book of Mormon. And I said, I'd rather send you comic books. I don't know how that went over. They didn't reply. But I would rather send you a comic book than the Book of Mormon. Right? I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't care what you think. You're going to leave a comment down below and probably crush me for that. But, you know, I'd rather send you a comic book. One of the funniest things I ever remember in my childhood was a couple of Mormon kids coming to my grandfather's house. I was about 15. And I remember these two Mormon kids coming down this red clay dirt road in Vernon, Florida. Henson's Crossroads, actually, is where my grandfather lived. Henson's Crossroads. And they came down this red clay dirt road on their bicycles. And white shirts, ties. Nice, you know, they were, you know, the typical momos. And they pull up at the house, and I'm like out in the yard, like doing something. And I see them, and I'm like, don't do it. Don't go in there. And sure enough, man, my grandfather just invited them in. And whenever he invited them in, they used to always leave the front door open because my grandparents didn't have air conditioning. All the windows were open. The front door was open. Like, that's just the way they lived, right? Never locked the doors. And I remember these Mormon kids coming to my grandfather's house in the middle of the summer. And they walked in, and I saw him shut the door. And I was like, he's about to testify to these kids. He's about to give them an education from the book of Revelation. And they're going to be scared, and they will never come back, or they will convert. And they were in there for like 2 hours. And I just was like, I'm not going in there while this is happening, because this would be dangerous. Not physically dangerous, but just, I don't want to be involved in this. I would cringe. And I feel like right now that's what we need for a lot of people in America. We need some good old education from the book of Revelation right now. It's getting dark. I've been rambling for 20 minutes. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. I would say it's a fireside chat, but it's not. It's a smoking a pipe. This is an Ernie What's Ernie's last name? Anyway, he carved this for me. It's got a little bamboo here. I forget Ernie. Ernie Markle. Ernie Markle is the name of this pipe carver. He's an artisan pipe carver. He's out of Arizona. One of the best smoking pipes I've got. I bought this from him personally up in Kansas City at a pipe show probably 7 or 8 years ago. And it's just, if you've never smoked a pipe, you should try it. You can't get in a hurry smoking a pipe. I don't know, it makes you slow down. It makes you slow down. It makes you think. I think I'm smarter just because I got a pipe in my hand. I feel smarter because I got a pipe. Right? I mean, why not? I got a pipe. I smoke a pipe, therefore I am smarter. We'll say that. Anyway, this is Ben. This is a Ben Dykes show. Thanks for tuning in. We dropped everything. Fred and Daisy are here. Here, come on, Fred. Here. We'll get Fred up here. I know you want to see him. There we go. There's Fred. He likes sitting out here. We got the fireflies going on. Lightning bugs for all of you city folk. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.